It's been a while since I made my last video. That's because there's been a lot of change in my life, and I haven't had that much time or motivation for that matter, and I also haven't played very much. That's usually what the life is like. There are many twists and turns and changes and so on and so forth, and that can take away a lot of time and motivation to spend time with your interests. So this is an attempt to get back on track with chess because I really haven't played very much lately. So this is just a game I played against a computer, against Komodo 10 64-bit in sparring mode. You get different, I think you get 4 or 5 or something like that, different choices in sparring mode. I chose the hardest mode. It's called really hard. The difference between the hardest option in sparring mode and let's say the default option is that it doesn't play bad moves, but it does play sometimes weak moves, thus giving you a chance to actually win or draw or something like that. But that's the whole point with sparring mode, because if you never play against the computer in sparring mode, you will be playing against it in the hardest option, in the default option, so to speak. And I can guarantee you that if you ever beat it, you're world class, maybe even better. Okay, so let's see what happened here. I was black and this was a blitz game. So it's a Queen's Indian opening where black plays b6. If you go back in my video history, you will find that I made a couple of videos some years ago about the Queen's Indian and the Nimzo Indian and so on. The Nimzo Indian, without getting into any depths, is that after knight c3, black plays bishop b4, but after knight f3, I guess you could go bishop b4 here as well, but it's not. It depends. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I believe that bishop b7, b6, knight c3, and bishop b7 are the most common moves. I think so anyway. And here a3, probably stopping bishop b4 at some point, maybe preparing, not necessarily now, but later b4 and bishop b2 or whatever, I don't know. And here I play knight e4, not so much because I had a profound idea, anything like behind it, and also I don't think I was even sure if this was an opening move, because that's how long I've been away from chess. You really get rusty. But it turns out that it is indeed an opening move, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. My idea was that, for some reason in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, sometimes white can play e4, let's say queen c2, e4, and so on. But after knight to e4, I can always take on c3, and if queen c2 here, I can either take or play f5 or even d5. I'm not quite sure what I would have done here. Maybe knight takes c3, maybe even f5, not unclear. So, but the computer took, which is the main move actually. I took back, bishop f4. We're still in opening theory, I believe. Bishop e7, and here e3. All the main moves so far, more or less. And here I castled, and here the computer played bishop d3, also opening move. And I went out of book after d5. And my idea after d5, or let's say with d5, is that once the computer takes on e4, my idea was that after the bishop takes, pawn takes, this knight has to move somewhere. So he went back to d2, and now I played f5. Queen c2, knight d7. Castle c5, d5, e5, bishop g3, bishop d6. Maybe not. So I have a threat at some point to play f4. Not really now, because if I play f4 now, the white can just take the pawn on e4 and then threaten my bishop on d6. And if I take over here, he will just take back, and I haven't really gained anything. So it's not so much a threat. Maybe if the computer, obviously it wouldn't do that, but let's say just for the sake of argument, the computer would ignore this threat and make just any other move, then I could play g5 and then f4 and just win this bishop. Once I protect my own bishop, obviously. Anyway, f3. F3 is like I more or less already said. It's not a way to get this bishop in safety. It's more just to, let's say, mess up my pawn structure perhaps. I think F3 is perfectly fine. So I'll have to take. And here knight takes, and I played queen f6. I suppose I could play queen c7 also, but I play queen f6. And now the computer played e4. I don't want to take, because then I open up, let's say, fire against my own queen, so I played f4. I think that's the most common, well, not the most common move, but the move that makes most sense. Bishop f2, g5, h3, h5. I'm not really making anything dangerous here, because I mean, if I ever play g4, the computer can play the knight to h4. No, he can't do that. He can play bishop to h4 and threatening my queen, which is probably not a very good move anyway. So g4 is in the air at least. Okay. Rook ac1, g4, bishop h4, queen g6. Here I think knight g5 is just a bad move. It has to be a bad move. Because of the bishop e7, I really don't see how white can actually save these two light pieces for. There could be some sort of exchange sacrifice. I mean, where white gives up two pieces for a rook or something. But other than that, I really don't know. Okay, queen a4. It looks like, at least in my, let's say, quick analysis, if you like, it looks like white is saving something here, but I could perhaps play rook f8, or even move my this knight somewhere. Probably rook to d8, and after knight to, let's say, e6, I'll just take the bishop, and then when he takes my rook, I take back, and I have two last pieces for a rook. That's one scenario, I suppose. But and also I can play knight b8 perhaps. But I don't know. It's I didn't really spend any time thinking about that. I just played bishop takes g5, and now after bishop takes, queen takes, rook f7, queen c6, rook f8, h4. I just took, and the idea is to give a check and then possibly win a pawn here. Okay, queen g6, rook g7, queen e6, king h7, queen takes, g3, and now the rook moved. I played queen h2 check. So the white king is in huge trouble here, I believe. He doesn't have any checks, so I played f3. No matter how you look at this, there's no way white is going to survive. King e1, and I just took the pawn. The pawn with the queen. I'm threatening checkmate actually. And this was a blitz game, so I suppose there were 100 different ways to win the game. But I could have played f2 immediately, but I didn't see that, so I gave a check. Queen d2, queen d4 check, and the reason I wanted to trade queens is kind of very obvious, because of the takes, these two pawns can possibly be stopped. So the game is just completely won for black here. And so let's just see how I checkmated. I only had it, I don't know how many seconds, but not too many anyway. Okay, so let's see what happened here. So I gave a couple of checks, and then checkmate after rook e8. So this was an okay game, I suppose, in sparring mode. Like I said, Komodo 10, 64-bit, one of my first games in what feels like 100 years. I'll try to get back to chess, as well as I can. I mean, it depends on how much time I have and motivation, obviously. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.